This is Eric from Pack Hacker, and today we're taking a look at the Tooletries Koby Lite, which I've been testing for the past 2 weeks. If you find this video helpful, make sure you subscribe so we can continue making content like this to help you travel smarter. Let's dive in. So as you can probably see, or at least guess, we have a full silicone construction here on the exterior apart from these zips. It feels pretty neat because it has a texture to it. So it's not just, smooth silicone, it's got a nice little texture. I kind of compared it to like the rivers of like a delta on like a microscopic level. You can kind of get lost in looking at it, as I'm sure you saw when I held it up. It's also kind of fun to hold on to. It makes it easier to, especially if it gets a little bit wet, easier to grasp onto it, because sometimes like just smooth silicone can be a little bit slippery and kind of slip out of your hand. So it's nice to see that texture because it's easy to grab onto and also looks kind of neat. So this is one of the green colorways, which actually I couldn't find available online, at least at the time of shooting this video. They just have black available right now. So maybe we'll see more colorways in the future, but this is what was available black was what is available right now. So as you can see, we have this kind of like folded design in the corners here, and we have a zipper running across the top here. So this is an unbranded zipper. As you can see, the pull has a little Koby logo on it. This is a pretty nice pull, easy to grab onto, and you can kind of use your nail to grab onto the letters if you want to. But this zipper is, I don't know how else to say it, is I really don't like it. It's just kind of rough, like if you hit your hand with it, and if something leaks inside there, it's not a waterproof zipper or water resistant zipper even, so water leaks, and I'll show you that later on. But it just seems like a waste to have this really, really waterproof material in the silicone, but then this zipper not be waterproof. So if you don't bring any liquids, you're bringing mostly solids, not a huge deal, but if there's like a leak or something like that, this stuff is going to come out of the toiletry pouch pretty easily. But we do have these 2 loops here on the side, which make it easy to open the zipper. You kind of hold on to one and pull the other. It also, you can like attach a carabiner or something to it, or a strap to put it in your bag. We have the little logo there, as you can see. But I do like those little tabs. I wish they were a little bit bigger because there isn't really a good way to carry this thing other than just kind of palming it. So if there's a little bit bigger, I could like put my finger through there a little bit easier. But overall, I like the look of this thing. It doesn't hold its shape super well when it's not fully packed. As you can see, it's just kind of, malleable. And when you have a bunch of gear in there, it can kind of poke out a little bit, but that's kind of nice, so you can stuff more inside of here than maybe you'd think you'd be able to if it was a more rigid material. So moving into the main compartment, as I mentioned, this zipper is a little bit rough, so I kind of found myself constantly going, like if I'm gonna get some stuff, I get it all at once, set it out, and then put what I need back inside there all at once too, to kind of negate my experience with this zipper. It's not that bad, it's just something that bothers me personally, so I assume there's probably some people out there who it bothers as well. So I got my deodorant in there, some wipes that are nice for after taking a flight or something, toothbrush and toothpaste, Matador flat pack soap case, and then another Tooletries product here. I think this made it onto our DNPL. I know it's been on some other packing lists as well. I think we typically use a smaller one, but they are it's not unfamiliar to Tooletries to be using silicone. So nice to see them continuing that legacy. But as you can see on the inside here, we've got no organization. So there are 3 sizes of a similar bag to this. There's a smaller one, this is the middle, and then there's a larger one. I think the smaller one would probably be better for me personally, just because I don't bring that much stuff. And this one is the middle, and I think it could use a little bit of internal organization, but internal organization does take up space, so you wouldn't be able to fit as much in here. And I know adding internal organization to silicone is not easy, so maybe that's the reason for it, but you really can pack a lot in here. I mean, this is a really big space. So obviously it's a toiletry pouch, so it's going to get a little bit dirty. And so I actually I took this on a weekend trip. I had a toothpaste container. I didn't close all the way, and some toothpaste got in here, and it took me a really long time to clean it out of this corner here. So it is silicone, so silicone's really easy to clean, but where it comes together here, this little, I don't even know what you call it, this seam area, was really hard to get things clean from underneath there. It cleaned up really well once I was done, but it was not really a fun cleaning experience. And something I think is important to mention too is that obviously this is mostly silicone. Air will escape through this zipper, but you're not, like, all the moisture from inside's not going to evaporate. So if you're like getting ready to go, throw your stuff in here and then don't touch it for, I don't know how long it would take, but it could get a little bit gross in here because that moisture is just gonna kind of be lingering around and hanging around because it's not breathable. I know it's a weird thing to say about a toiletry pouch, but silicone is obviously very waterproof. So there's gonna be some air that gets out through that zipper, but for the most part, you know, nothing's gonna be really getting out of there. So that's important to note, I think. But overall, I like how much this gear can hold, but it's really, the whole thing is kind of just brought down by this zipper. So I actually have a cup of water here and a towel. So this obviously isn't, you know, a scientific test, but I tried this because I was curious and the results kind of shocked me a little bit. So you're not gonna pour water in your toiletry pouch, but you are gonna have some liquids that are like water or similar to water or maybe a little bit thicker, but I'm just gonna dump the water in there. Not too much water there. And as you can see, the silicone is holding it lovely. No water is coming out. But then when you tip it over like this, the water just comes right out. So if you had anything remotely water-like and it leaked, like my toothpaste, there wasn't enough toothpaste to really get out. But if you had like a thing of body wash in there and it leaked and this thing was upside down or the body wash was in a place where it could get into contact with this zipper, it's not gonna come out like this water did. It's absolutely not going to, but it can leak out. And whatever's near this in your bag, like if you had any tech or anything like that, it's gonna get body wash on it. Or like if you're traveling with perfume, that's more liquid-like and that could easily make its way outside of this pouch. So that's just something I thought was worth noting. If you travel with solids, like typically I do travel with mostly solids, but I know a lot of you don't. So I thought that was important to mention. So if you're doing mostly solids, you're gonna be fine with this thing. The zipper might, you know, bother you a little bit when you're going in and out, or maybe you're not as sensitive as I am, but you really can fit a lot of gear in this. But if you're bringing liquids and you're worried at all about spills, this might not be the pouch for you. But overall, pretty happy with how it performed apart from this zipper. The zipper just really bums me out, and I don't typically get hung up on stuff like that. So that was kind of something new for me. But overall, pretty happy with how it performed. Other than that, I'm curious what you guys would use this for. It obviously doesn't have to just be toiletries. You could use this as, you know, for your tech, for really anything you wanted to, because it is pretty big and it doesn't have any organization. So the world is your oyster. So there you have it, the Tooletries Koby Lite. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel. We'll see you in the next one.